Hey everybody,
Hey
we
guys.
are back for another live Thursday night. And let me just fix the tablet over here.
Oh,
Sabrina
I'm sorry, I forgot. I'm supposed
will
to be doing
be
that.
watching the comments on the tablet, but sometimes I think she forgets. All right. So, uh, this blog, nope, not a blog. This vlog is a little different than our other ones. This is almost like a little behind the scenes, I guess you could call it, of I don't know. We're not traveling or anything like that in this video, but I wanted to talk a little bit about something called Patreon and what it is and why we don't have it. And I'll start by saying that I have nothing against Patreon, and Sabrina has nothing against Patreon. What happened was there were two people. One person contacted us a little while ago, and then another person contacted us and said, "Hey, if you guys ever think about joining Patreon, be sure to let me know right away because I will definitely like to contribute to the channel." And we both thought, and I obviously thought, wow, I think that's like I think that's the best compliment that you could get. And it really meant a lot that somebody was like, hey, I'll take some of my hard-earned money and give it to you guys so you can be silly on YouTube.
Right.
Not that we're silly all the time. I know that, that we put together some nice videos every once in a while for everybody.
Every once in a while.
Every
I
once
like
in a
that.
while. Every once in a while we get a good video out there and it's helpful and informative and things like that. And it really meant a lot, that somebody said, because we never even talked about it before, that someone actually, they know who they are, that they actually came to us and said, look, if you do a Patreon, let us know because we want to contribute to the channel and make sure you guys do more videos. So, but like I said, first right off the bat, that we have nothing against Patreon or channels that use Patreon or anything like that. And so I'll just describe Patreon a little bit for people that maybe don't, for people that don't know what it is.
Can you guys hear us? I just want to make sure you guys can hear us. Continue. I'll hear back whether.
Okay. So I'll start by saying no.
Yes, they can hear us. Go ahead.
So, no, what was I going to say? I think I was going to describe a little bit of what Patreon is for people that may not know what Patreon is. And if it looks like I'm reading something this week, I am. Normally what I see on the screen is ourselves, so that I make sure everything is coming through. But there was a lot of things that I wanted to make sure that I said and that I said it properly. So I got like a little cheat sheet on the screen. See, even with a cheat sheet, I'm still gonna mess things up. So Patreon, to make YouTube videos and put them together and everything is incredibly fun, and that's pretty much how it all started for us too. Is just that the videos are fun, but they're also very time consuming. They really do suck a lot of your week out to put a video together. No matter how professional you're trying to make it, or even if you're just kind of quickly slapping together, I still think that they take a lot of time. And a channel that is posting, say, 3 videos or more videos a week is putting some serious time. We do 1, maybe 2 videos a week. One of them's live, so this makes it a little easier. For us to do this live video today, took maybe only 3 hours to put together, and get it ready to go and make sure everything was working right and write down everything that I wanted to say. Our normal live videos where I add like the pictures and the photos, same thing, about 4 hours it takes me to put something like that together. And then a standard video, takes a lot more time. the traditional style videos. So somebody putting out 3 videos a week on a YouTube channel is putting in, I would think they would have to be putting in over 40 hours a week to be able to provide those videos to their subscribers and on their channel. An example of it is we have a travel day video, and it's about 10 minutes long, and that one video took us well over 40 hours. We actually spread it, what do you think, a couple weeks?
Yeah, it took a while.
We spread it across, weeks. We used 3 cameras in that one. There was a lot of editing. We don't do reshoots or anything like that. But I take the videos very... It may not always seem like it, but I take the videos very serious. There's times that in the editing process that I will say something in a video, or Sabrina says something in a video, and we don't like it. I can actually go in and change what we said without having to record... sometimes I'll just have to say our words over again, and I just take out our original words, replace them with new words, and for the most part, I don't think anybody has ever noticed that our mouths aren't moving and saying what our words are saying. But that's how, I guess that's just how serious sometimes I take it. I'm like, oh, that didn't sound just right. And you're even tougher than I am
but
sometimes.
I'm like that about anything. That's not just the videos. Everything. I'm a little obsessive compulsive about some things.
So maybe that's our fault that some of our videos take us so long. So if there's a channel putting out videos on a constant basis like that, that's kind of where Patreon comes into play, I think. And what Patreon does is you're able to I don't like to use the word donate, but you're able to contribute. Yeah, you're able to contribute to that channel a certain amount of money per month, or even on a, just as you feel like. I know that's what we've done. RV Geeks, we gave the RV Geeks some money because we thought they were super when they're still super, but we thought they were really super when we were starting out. And we sent them, I would say, almost a question every week. And they always, these guys always took the time to write back to us, and not just like little one-word answers. They wrote paragraphs back to us at times to make sure that we were doing things the right way and what to look for and stuff. They really, really went above and beyond what they had to do, or we felt anyway. So we donated a small amount to them, and then we used their Amazon links and purchased items through their Amazon links as well. They were pretty super for the whole thing. So that's where Patreon comes in, though. Like, you can contribute money to the channels, and what it does is it just helps them continue to provide that content, because you don't make, there isn't a ton of money, for us anyway, there isn't a ton of money on YouTube. We run ads in the beginning of our videos. We have almost 3,000 subscribers. We have over 300,000 views, and we average about $75 a month on YouTube with those subscribers and with over 300,000 views. You know what? I should have looked to see how many views we're getting per week or per month. That would have probably been a little bit more helpful. But we average about $75 a month. Sometimes it's a lot lower. Sometimes we'll get a spike and it's a lot higher. But it's usually about right around 75. So that's not a ton of money. So when a channel offers Patreon and subscribers can contribute to that channel, then they're able to kind of, get a more steady income. So instead of maybe $75 a month, maybe they're doing $500 a month or something like that. And it allows them to take time away from something else that's bringing their income in, and put their efforts towards the channel, and in return, provide great content for that channel that's helpful for people that are watching, and nobody's twisting anybody's arm to pay. So it really, I think Patreon really is a good thing. I think the subscriber is contributing to that channel. That channel is then able to take that money and put it into the channel and make the videos better and take more time and really get you a real quality video. So I got my notes here, and it seems like I'm going through them pretty fast. As usual, I'm talking very fast.
So you've got some agreement here. Felicia said, she's talking to Clayton, said not even a tank of gas in some states, and Clayton says it barely pays anything. Yeah, I've heard other people say if the
we make all of our ads skippable. If somebody watches the ad all the way through, you get a little bit more money. But I couldn't imagine it being all of a sudden like,
he forces me to watch the ads when I pull up the channel. He's like, "What are you doing?" I'm like, "Skipping." He's like, "It's our channel. You can't skip the ads." I'm like, "Nobody wants to watch these."
We always watch our videos after they post just to make sure, like, to make sure the sound is right, and we crack ourselves up. It's probably the easiest way to say it. We watch our videos sometimes and we laugh at ourselves. So, but Sabrina will skip the ad. I'm like, "Don't skip the ad."
Who wants to watch those?
So what we do, like, so we're saying that, we don't use Patreon, but we do use ads. And why do we think ads are okay, I guess, and why we don't want to use the Patreon? I'll get to why we don't use the Patreon first, okay. And then I'll say why we do the ads, and we think the ads we do use. I guess it'd be a good argument if you're not doing Patreon, why not take away all the ads too? But we'll do Patreon first and why we don't use it. So I would say, not that I would say, I have it written down in front of me here. So there's a few reasons why we created the channel, and I know at the time we had no idea. I know 3,000 subscribers isn't a lot for some other channels, but we had no idea that we would grow to a channel size of almost 3,000 subscribers.
We had a hearty 13 for a long time. A
hearty 13. We were stuck on 13 subscribers for a long time. And I don't say stuck, but like when we created the channel, we thought it would be fun. Because I've always been interested in the behind-the-scenes stuff that goes on in movies. When we watch movies, Sabrina doesn't watch.
I'm already gone by then.
She's gone, but I always watch the documentary on the movie. I guess they're not called documentaries. Like the behind-the-scenes stuff. I want to know, what camera did they use? Why did they choose this music? If they tell,
was it CG? Was it not CG?
Yeah, was that really CG or was that practical? I love that stuff, and I love all the behind-the-scenes stuff. So. For me, the chance to, as an amateur, just go in and try to mess around with the computer and edit stuff and move things around and splice in images. I don't know. I have a good time with it. And so, I mean, that was one of the main reasons, was to have fun with the channel. The other reason was so that we would have some type of documentation. When we started the channel, we were living in our apartment and we were just downsizing. And we thought, oh, well, maybe we should be recording this stuff and saving it. So, in the future, we can kind of look back and say, remember how silly we were? Or just, like we do now, just watch them and kind of chuckle and laugh. So it was more just to have fun, and then to kind of document what we were doing so that we would have them as almost like, what are they called? Family movies?
Home movies.
Home movies. What's a family movie? I think that's like a rated G. I don't know. And then what happened? Then we decided to purchase the RV while we were doing this downsizing idea. And then we thought, well, if we have a channel, we'll keep the channel going. And then our friends and our family can watch us on the channel and they can keep updated. We can post little areas that we go to. We go to Williamsburg or we go to Florida and they could watch it. But it turned out nobody in our family cared.
No, they actually don't watch it. My mom still asks me questions that we talk about in the videos.
All the time.
I'm like, okay.
I shouldn't say that none of the family cares and none of the family.
Your parents faithfully watch it.
My parents do. My sister-in-law does. I would say we're under 10 friends and families members that actually watch the channel. But that's okay. Yeah, so they like you said, your mom calls and asks us questions that have been not answered on, but we've already shown, or we get text messages. Hey, where are you guys? How are things going in the RV? But then it was a weird thing, like Sabrina said, that we were stuck at like 13 subscribers for a long time. And then, I don't know really when it happened, but we all of a sudden started picking up a little bit of subscribers. Sabrina did a YNAB video that just kind of, it was slow to almost doing nothing for like a month or 2 months, and then all of a sudden it exploded, and then we did our very first RV.
Everybody loves budgeting.
Nobody likes budgeting. and then we did our very first RV experience, and that was another video. That one took off right away. It was like, I remember Mark, our friend Mark, calling. He's like, "Did you see that your video hit 1,000 views?" I said, "Yeah, of course I saw." And that one just kind of blew up, and then people started like subscribing to the channel, and I remember being super excited about it. I was like, I can't believe people are subscribing. And then we started getting comments saying, "Hey, I really appreciate you guys putting these videos together. They're helpful."
You're like,
I was like, "We are," which was again a huge compliment for us, because when we were deciding to move into an RV, we just mentioned the RV Geeks. We were watching YouTube videos and people living this way, and we were looking to them for, oh, well, how are they doing this, or how are they doing that? So when people started telling us, "Hey, your videos are really helping us out," we thought that was we were like, oh, we're almost kind of giving back in a sense, I guess. I guess you could say, through our silly videos. You talk for 1 second. I have to read.
So, RV Habit said the e-beggars have given Patreon a bad name, and yes, we have heard. Also, Roy Davis said about e-begging. Yeah, we've heard about that, definitely.
Yeah, and that's why I made it in the beginning of the video very important that I don't feel any bad way about Patreon and channels that use Patreon. I know, like, I've heard that term, the e-beggars, and there are people, I'm not going to mention a name, but just recently, I think I told you, I just, when you watch like RV channels and stuff like that, YouTube throws it into your feed. Hey, check this channel, check this guy out. And I just saw somebody, he had like under 300 subscribers, and he already had an account set up that you could like donate money to him. And I was like, wow, you only have one video. Like, why would anybody want to contribute to somebody? I don't know. I just thought it was weird that that's how he was starting out, was, asking for money before he even showed any type of content or anything that was, of
value?
of value. But, I mean, everybody's different. I don't know. So one of the things we fear about if we would do a Patreon or something like that is that it would take away the fun. I think, anyway. I feel like if we were doing Patreon and people wanted to take their hard-earned money and give it to us, it would put too...
It's like work.
It would become work, and I think it would become a strange dynamic. We really...
I don't know. I don't like taking things from anyone.
Yep, I don't want to... We don't want to take money out of people's pocket.
It's just weird.
And I think, like you said, it wouldn't become fun to do these videos anymore. It'd be like work. It'd be like, oh, so and so many people are giving us money. We better show up on Thursday night to do this live, or otherwise, I feel an obligation to show up every Thursday night anyway. But then I would really feel bad if I didn't.
I don't know. I think I'd be uncomfortable. I don't know.
Yeah, I think we would just be uncomfortable accepting money, even though people keep telling us, hey, we're finding a lot of value in your videos. We really love what you're telling us. We're really learning a lot. We really appreciate it. That's, I think, for us, for me anyway, that's
the fun.
That's the fun of it. That's really good enough. I mean, so when we started getting comments like that, I kind of feel like we started kind of just to started to help people and kind of give back. And in my mind, now I could be completely wrong on this, but in my mind, I think of it as if I was driving my car and I saw somebody on the side of the road and they had a flat tire and they were having trouble changing it. If I decided to pull over and help them change their flat tire, and then afterwards they said, hey man, thanks a lot, I really appreciate it. And then I say to them, no problem. How about $5? I don't know. I just couldn't picture myself doing that. And I feel like almost that's the way it is. I think it's just, I don't know.
Roy Davis said some people post things on Patreon for supporters only. And we've seen that, where it becomes kind of exclusive, where some of the content is only for supporters, or meetups only for supporters and that type of thing. We've seen that too.
But yeah, we've seen a lot of that too.
I don't like excluding anybody.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying it's bad, to each his own, but...
We don't like excluding people either. It's just, I don't know. Like, I don't know. So, So, I mean, that's basically the reason why we don't do the
Sorry,
Patreon.
James Johnson said, "Hi, do you guys have a Patreon? I'd like to donate."
Get out of here. He's kidding, I guess. I don't know if he's kidding or not. I don't know how long he's been. His name sound. I know James. I think he's kidding. So that's basically why we don't have a Patreon account or use a Patreon account. We just feel like we choose to take the time out of our weeks of whatever we're doing to make the videos to help people, and then we just feel kind of silly asking for money back for helping you in the first place. I don't know. Like, if we didn't want to do it, we just wouldn't do it. We just wouldn't do it. And I think that's a little bit different too. I mean, we don't use YouTube as an income, which brings me to
Marty's question. Sabrina, are you a specialized nurse? If so, what do you specialize in? So, Marty, I'm actually a physician, but I specialize in pulmonary critical care is my specialty. So that's what I do.
Sabrina does. If you're new to Marty, if you're new to the channel, Sabrina does travel doctoring. Very similar
Travel
to
doctoring.
It's called locums, but
it makes it sound like I have like a bag in my hand and I'm just like walking from house to house. I've got a pole and a bag on the end of the pole and I'm just walking from house to house.
So it's very similar to travel nursing, but for physicians. I'm only repeating you because a lot of times people will say to us, "Hey, we can't hear Sabrina." we talk at the microphone is actually closer to her than it is to me, just because I am so much loud. I project my voice, and Sabrina's like, "Hi, everybody."
Maybe just on here.
Maybe just on here. But if you see Sabrina in person, she is loud. She is very loud. So I mean, there are the reasons why we don't use Patreon. And so now you might say, well, if you don't use Patreon for the channel and you don't use the channel for income, why run the ads? And there's a couple of reasons why we...
Marty said he's not new. He's one of the Hardy 13.
Oh. Get out. Marty is?
Marty Emmerich.
I'm sorry, Marty. So then you might say to yourself, well, then why do you run the ads? Why don't you just demonetize all your videos? YouTube's doing it anyway. But
it's not appropriate.
It's not, yeah. But the reason is, one, it doesn't take any money out of your pocket. I think I remember a long time ago, Nomadic Native did a video like this. You know, it's kind of like free money. And two, we monetize the videos in case anything would ever go viral. Then I think we would actually get a decent...
Hopefully, anything but my mistake.
Right. Then I think we would actually get a nice little payday from YouTube if something would like go to 20. I don't know what we would ever make that would go viral into the millions. And then what we do is, like, that $75 a month, we just take and go back and take that money and then put it in the channel. Like, I don't know if you can see it, but, you know, people were saying, "Hey, we have trouble hearing you guys." So I bought a new microphone. But most of our videos are just made on little point and shoot cameras. We do have a GoPro. So I think the other channels that you're using...
I agree with... So, sorry, let me let you finish your thought, because this is what I do.
I think the other channels that are using those Patreon accounts, they do make a higher visually quality video. I think they're using, like, the SLRs. They're using, you know, better mics. I don't want to say they're a better channel.
This is along the lines of what RV Habit is saying. No problem with people who do it as an income with great production and content.
Yeah. So, yeah. Yep, absolutely. Yep. I think there's a big difference between what you guys had mentioned, an e-beggar, compared to somebody that's really putting on a good channel, something that you would... High production. Yep. High production. So that's the Patreon. That's why we don't use Patreon, and that's why we do run ads. And the other thing I want to start doing is Amazon affiliate link. I had it up there, and it was running, and it was working. And again, Amazon affiliate link is just like, if you see something that we are using, and you want to purchase it, and you purchase it through our link, Amazon gives us a commission for sending traffic in their direction. And I did it on the GPS, and we actually had 2 people used our link, purchased the GPS, and then, like, I don't know what happens to that money now, but Amazon shut us down because they said our website, not that it wasn't
lame.
They said our website that we have is lame. So I'm working on a new website, and then I'll get the Amazon the Amazon link back in action again. But I thought the Amazon link was a pretty cool idea because, again, it doesn't take any money out of anybody's pocket. And if you watched a video of ours and you thought it was helpful and you want to use our link, that's even better.
Yeah, you had me cancel my order and reorder through our link.
Well, it made sense. Why order it just for no reason? I mean, I don't know. Use our link if we have one. Right now we don't have one again, but
it's all good.
So that is this week's live.
Yeah.
Unless you got another question for me.
I don't have a question for you right now, no.
All right.
I don't think I do. Let me just look and be sure.
Okay. I hope everything I said made sense. I know sometimes I talk a little too fast and don't make a lot of sense. But hopefully this time I was making sense.
Oh, I think we're good.
We're all good. All right, everybody. Thanks for stopping in. We appreciate it. We really appreciate people subscribing to the channel and the thumbs ups and the thumbs downs and, of course, the comments. And we're just very appreciative of anybody that watches our channel and sees something and they're like, oh, these guys are good. I'm the one to subscribe. Because it's not easy. It's not easy to get people to hit that subscribe button.
That's funny because when I watch a video, I'm like when I'm on YouTube, I'm like, oh, I kind of like this video. That's cool. Let me subscribe and see what else they got when it's coming out. And then other times I'll unsubscribe. I'm like, yeah, maybe that was a little quick.
We'll see you, everybody.
Bye, guys.
Have a good night.